Hello everyone, this is Ange. Welcome to another episode of the Visual Novel Monthly Recap. This is a video series where I highlight news related to visual novel releases and the community for each month. In this video, I'll highlight anything that happened in August of 2023. A huge shout out to It's Andrew XP for the editing and Celty Farron for the custom graphics. This is something I missed at the end of last month. For people who have been waiting for both the 18 plus content to be restored and for Chapter 1 to take place in high school again, there's a fan restoration patch for Cyanotype Daydream for that content by the team started by the Math God. In a very surprise twist, Shiravune has finally agreed to put some of their titles on non-DRM platforms. This seems like a trial run for MangaGamer, JAST, and KAGITORI games. As for now, it'll just be Dona, Kuroinu Redux, Holy Paladin Cynthia, Nope Nurses, and Nope Nurses, Simon Gakushu Secret Desire, The Shell Part 1 Inferno, and Marauder of Dystopia, the weakest go to the wall. Later on in the month, they actually added more visual novels to all three of those stores, including all of the Marmalade Moege, Salt, and the Megasuki trilogy, all without any bright censor bars. At the rate things are going, I wouldn't be surprised if all the Shiravune's catalog would be on MangaGamer, JAST, and KAGITORI Games' stores by the end of the year. Shiravune made yet another surprise announcement. This time, they announced that they're doing an official translation of the original Taimanin Asagi by Black Lilith. As far as I know, this is a dark, serious story visual novel with dark H scenes. Shiravune also released the original White Album 1 Memories Like Falling Snow on Steam. This is the original game that eventually spawned the ever so popular sequel, White Album 2. As far as I know, White Album 1 has an interesting system where the main character already has a girlfriend, but has the option to choose another girl even while in a relationship. You do this through map clicking and picking various choices. However, there were some people who don't like the typical Shiravune localizations, so someone made a restoration patch to add back things like honorifics. KAGITORI, Bird in the Cage, Hiding the Key is now out on Steam. This appears to be a mystery visual novel. However, it seems like this English translation release received a lot of criticism. For one, the developer decided to not create an 18 plus patch in any way. Second, people have said that the translation just straight up isn't that good, and it's pretty obvious it was translated by someone who isn't fluent in English. If you're one of those people who likes H scenes without the pixelation, it looks like someone made a fan uncensored patch for The Shell Part 1 for the H scenes to not have mosaics. Snowy Ryujin released a fan translation for Planetarian Snow Globe. This appears to be a prequel to Planetarian that shows the life of Yumemi Hoshino of her life before the post-apocalyptic setting. It is also very short, even shorter than the original Planetarian, maybe an hour tops. A brand new fan translation group called Blue Overture Translations announced that they are going to be translating the Switch version of Ao Natsu Line. This is a well-regarded moege that was developed by Giga, who created the Baldur series. Apparently they know the Alka translations previously announced long ago that they'd be translating the PC version, but it looks like the main reason why they're translating the Switch version instead is because the hacker has more experience with reverse engineering Switch engines. Since it's going to be the Switch version, expect no H scenes. Since Kuroinu 1 Redux earlier this year seems to have done well, Shiravune announced Kuroinu 2 Redux, aka the direct sequel. Apparently the official translation of Return to Shironagasu Island English release does not have Japanese voice acting for some reason. It looks like somebody created a fan translation migration patch. So all you have to do is get the Japanese version on Steam and apply this patch. And this way you'll get the official English text while actually getting the original Japanese voice acting. Necronion has finally released Clover Days Plus by Alkai. This is a fairly notable release for a few reasons. One, it originally had a fan translation announced around 9 years ago, but it got cancelled along the way. Clover Days has gone through a temporary ban on Steam before, but got saved through Hikari Field, the official Chinese translator. Clover Days is also by far the most popular Alcott title, apparently having a good mix of character development, melodrama, in addition to the moe. For reference, other Alcott visual novels included things like My Girlfriend is the President and Onigaku, which were translated by JAST. For anyone who is avoiding NUKITASHI because of all the localization choices, Yomi made a de-localization patch, removing a lot of the localizations some people didn't like. This includes things like removing the zoomer and Twitch lingo, changing back FS to the original SS term, adding back honorifics, among other things. Daybreak Translations put out a public Google form users can choose between 3 potential visual novels the group may translate next. This includes Sujiro's Fandisk Version Road, Red Cherish, a visual novel with a cyberpunk setting and great graphics, and Suritosu, a popular story-ish visual novel with a trap protagonist. I've been told this form will keep on going until about December of this year. Front Wing has released the sequel to Aikage, After Days. Aikage was a single heroine linear visual novel that's pure romance and starred just a childhood friend. This is just a sequel that's also about as long as the original, which was about 4 to 6 hours. So if you wanted to see more of this type of romance, it's now on Steam with an optional 18 plus patch on Front Wing's website. Shiravune announced 2 new titles titles that I assume are just some mix of moe and nukige. The first is Destiny Star Girlfriend by Mirai Soft. Based on the description, apparently it's a single heroine story where the girl is apparently a magical girl. The second is Teniyoha featuring Mommy. The description talks about the girl being a dommy mommy and that the visual novel was a 2022 Moe Game Award for dark romance. So take that for what you will. Axis Games has released the fan disc of Norn 9 Last Era. Norn 9 is an otome created by the Otomate developer and was pretty interesting since it had 3 selectable protagonists, each with their own set of love interests. So if you wanted to see more of this series, check out Last Era, which can only be found on the Nintendo Switch eShop store. And that is it for August 2023 news. I just want to give a huge thank you to everyone who continues to watch and support me, as it's actually the Visual Novel Monthly Recaps' 4th anniversary. As always, if you have any feedback, positive or negative, feel free to leave a comment below or in one of my social medias. And now to give a huge thank you to all who continue to be YouTube members of mine. First, we have Dexton Boston Terrier Dog RIP, who's been in the VN Super Weirdo tier for 5 months. And then we have Marie Antoinette, who's the first user to be in the VN Super Weirdo tier for 1 whole year. And then we have Lee Douglas, who's been in the VN Weirdo tier for 3 months. Next, we have David Mendiola, who's been in the VN Super Weirdo tier for 2 months. Finally, we have Sabin Fire, who just joined in August. Much appreciated. Finally, a huge shout out to T Lover, who continues to pay me monthly through the Coffee account. Much appreciated.